What's up everyone, it's Gabby Trades and welcome back to the channel. Well, markets showed extreme momentum since we were last live together. I tried to prepare you guys to the best of my ability. Hopefully you're not left behind. So today we're going to review Bitcoin, of course, the market. We'll look at some alts, but before we jump in, you guys make sure you smash the like button, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss any time that I'm live here with you, because this is going to be your ticket, you guys, I promise you. Now, S&P 500 and Nasdaq pushed to all-time highs again. Now, that was since yesterday. We had advance versus decline ratio, which was higher, which means that the market overall, the TradFi was up as well. But under the surface, there's some warnings that are flashing right now. We had the CPI data dropped, which was pretty much a mixed bag. Now, today's inflation CPI was the big event, right? We have the headline CPI at 0.3, month over month, 2.7 year over year. The most important one is the core CPI, which is excluding food and energy, that came at 0.2 month over month and 2.9 year over year. Now, what does that mean? Well, that wasn't particularly a cooling print, you guys. Inflation is ticking up, especially due to tariffs and imports cost on imports, but core inflation, which is what the Fed is actually watching, came in slightly softer than expected. So that is giving the markets temporary relief and it's sparking a bounce. Now, tariffs really are starting to bite. Yet again, yesterday's headlines confirmed what the markets were fearing. Trump imposed tariffs on European autos like cars and threatens 100% tariffs on Russian exports unless they have a deal with Ukraine, and he's giving them like 50 days. So there is another deadline from Trump. He wants a deal between Russia and Ukraine within the next 50 days. Now, these kind of policies are really feeding into inflation, you guys, and could really worsen global supply chains overall. Now, so we're already seeing that hit on prices, right? We're seeing the hit on prices. We're seeing the hit on commodities. And today's CPI is really proving that these things are being priced in. Regardless of that, we also had big banks earnings today, which was strong. That's good, but still cautious, right? We had JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo. Now all of them beat expectations. So the EPS were really, really good. Citigroup returned like $3 billion to the shareholders. So it's all good. But like Wells Fargo's CEO, for example, he's not very optimistic. He's flagging all of the geopolitical risks that we're facing, inflation, and really the softening consumer right now, because that's what we're looking at. Now, you guys, I want to tell you that market loves traps. So here's the setup, right? CPI is giving us just soft enough excuse for the bulls to push price higher. But what is happening behind the scenes? Inflation is sticky, tariffs are back, earnings are screaming. It's not clear, right? It's not all clear yet. So that's really a classic rally into resistance type of scenario, then rug pull territory, right? So be cautious around the breakout trades is what I can tell you. Let's see who's here. Okay, a lot of names that I cannot pronounce. So I think I'm gonna skip on that today, but I'm happy to see you guys. Smash the like button and we're gonna move into the charts. Yeah, last week we had only one stream. Unfortunately, I wasn't with you for the all-time high stream, but Aaron was here. So you guys, I'm pretty sure you're covered. But if you watched the previous live streams, yes, you are indeed covered, because we looked at everything together. And I try to prepare you guys for everything, right? Okay, moving my screens around because each time I have to do that. Hello, Abu, GB, cheers. Yeah, you're welcome. Hi, Sixto and everyone. All right, cool. Let's crack in with the charts right now. Today, we're going to view some alts as well. So if you guys have any requests, put it in the chat box. Do not forget to do that. There is few things you need to do. You need to look at the description box, find all the nice exchanges that I'm affiliated with, so you can get access to a Telegram group. Find my YouTube account, find all the things, like always in the description box, you guys. I don't need to tell you. I rather talk about price. All right, cool. So here we are. All right, so for anyone that's new here with me, basically before this move up, I was trying to warn you guys, right? I was trying to warn you that according to my model, when we have a drop to an area of 0.5, that means that price is going to exit above 1. In that case, one of that range is around 112,000 Bitcoin. So this is what happened. Well, I'm sorry to say, but if we had any bears, they're all slaughtered right now, right? Every bear is slaughtered right now. So that goes without saying. So last week we also had here, right? This was a sell order block that was formed. We sold off once from it. We came back and traded through it. Like I kept it for pretty much since, I don't know, beginning of June. Why? Because this is another confluence, right? Another confluence. When price trades through, it becomes a very nice area to retake trades if you were not, you know, brave enough to take a trade from here or down here. This is how my model works. This is how this is what I teach my students, right? So if you want to learn from that model, I have a wait list also in the description box. So I'm gonna teach you guys that as well. Now, okay, so what did we cover? The bulls are done. Sorry, the bears are done. We've exited the range. Everything is working towards plan. Now, for me, to be honest, I was totally prepared for price to pull back in this area. So why? Because I'm using standard deviation over here. And I tried to warn my community. Obviously, we didn't have a stream yesterday for that, you guys, but I'm pretty sure maybe I did the extensions for you once or twice. So there was two areas. One was around 118,000 and around 123,000, right? These were the two areas where price was supposed to pull back according to my strategy and the way I use standard deviation, right? So the thing is, we've reached to that level. So usually when we reach to that sort of extension to the standard deviation from the lows, right? From the lows, which are all the way down here, that to me usually signals to exit, right? So in this area, I'm happily exiting, and on a lower time frame, there was confirmation for short. So yes, I am indeed short for this move down here. Now, if we're looking at a daily time frame, right, daily time frame, the confirmations for shorts are not there on a daily time frame, right? So this week right here is proving to you that price is being strong right now. So we still need to wait for the day to develop and for this candle to close in order for me to continue being bullish like this. The interesting thing also is that we do have a gap. We do have a gap on the CME futures. I always say SME futures or some stuff. I don't know what I say. How's a Z trader? But yes, we do have a gap over here. Now I want to bring you guys' attention to this gap because this gap is important, right? This gap is important. This is going to serve right now as sort of a support for price. Now, with the drop that we had currently, right, today, on a daily time frame specifically, and from yesterday, whatever, it seems like alts are holding, like they're not puking. You know what I mean? Remember what we said? When Bitcoin sneezes, altcoins puke. Well, that's not the case anymore because ETH BTC is strong and Bitcoin dominance is dropping down. So newsflash, it's looking good. But what did we say, you guys? I've been with you now for probably, this is my 8th video. I think I tried to warn you in the videos before that alts are going to start picking up in July. Go ahead and watch the live streams for yourself. I'm trying to build my credibility with you guys, so you start listening to me. All right. Now, so I want to bring your attention to this. The reason for that is because this needs to hold, right? It needs to hold. This area needs to hold. If price starts dropping, right, and starting to accept levels below this area, this is going to be a red flag because alts are going to, you know, I don't want to say puke, but they probably will, right? They probably will start they probably will start dropping down a little bit more than we want to see. So essentially, yes, we do want to potentially tap into that gap again. It's possible if we do. It's possible we don't because price is still very strong. But yeah, in case we do, just telling you that this is going to be, in my opinion, important that we hold this area. And if we don't hold this area, it's probably going to be you know, not so nice for the alts, but like not so nice in a way. We're gonna get better entries for alts because alts have still long way to go. They're still at a good levels. Like I gave you the perfect levels, right? And if you follow me from before, like Z Trader, for example, follows me for months, he knows that I gave the ultimate levels way back, right? Way back in April. So you know, it is what it is, right? And I know a lot of you guys are like, you know, maybe missed the move, right? Maybe missed the move, and you're feeling FOMO, you're feeling bad about it, and these things are normal, right? Like especially if it's your first run or whatever. But the thing is, don't worry, there is still possibility, even for Bitcoin. To be quite honest with you, right? This move for me is not proven because the way that we're extending right now. This could simply mean something like this. Let me show you 1 second, because we have the true week open over here within this doji candle over here. So that could really mean something like, all right, come back up, take Asia high, and then send it back down, right? Send it back down, but we want to hold this area in a case scenario that this happens. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we need to be looking out for in terms of Bitcoin, right? Ethereum. Now let's move. We're gonna go one by one. Ethereum, you guys. Do you trade on Binance or some other app? Yeah, so the places for you guys to trade, everything is in the description box. I don't need to tell you. You guys, you know that the information that I'm not giving to you or I'm giving to you, you can refer to that in the description box always, right? Always do that. Cool. Ethereum, let's have a look again. So last time we spoke together with you guys, I told you, and I was very, very clear, right? I think we were together potentially since the drop down to the daily support. Right, to the daily support. So this daily support and all the supports and resistances I get with the help of my indicators, right? Not only that, I also get the ultimate liquidation levels as well. So that would mean liquidation. By that, what I mean is highs and lows that are very, very highly likely to be targeted. +2 for the V-shaped recovery, most likely. Yeah, okay. So yeah, these indicators, you can also find them in the description box. All right, very simple, very cheap. This is what I use for my trading, right? I'm just trying to give it to you guys. Cool. So we were together since the daily support on ETH, right? Okay, cool. So, you know, I told you, drop ultimate entry, daily support, 12-hour support, 50% of the high time frame range. This is a high time frame range. I know this is a range, but I'm not referring to that range. I'm referring to a very, very high time range that is years on end. Mark Burton doesn't like the candles. Why? The candles are quite good, mate. If you don't like these candles, I don't know which candles you like. But basically, the thing is, this was it, right? And I told you the last opportunity is going to be entering from the 0.5 pretty much. Now, all we can hope for from here is just some pullbacks to fill the imbalances that were created with that move right over here. And again, we can pull the indicators for that. Right? Indicators for that. What are we seeing on ETH? Well, what do you know? What do you know? We have a bearish fair value gap that was traded through. So that essentially creates a balanced price action over here. So in case of price pulling back, this would be a very good opportunity, right? A very good opportunity to tap into the balanced price action over here. There you go. So that's one for ETH. ETH is very strong. ETH BTC is gonna continue higher, you guys. Why do I keep on drawing? So yeah, first liquidity. So Ethereum needs to come now to 3,528. 3,528. So yeah, any pullback is really going to be very, very, yes, Say. Waghan is bullish on Say. Of course, like, look, Say today is like, wow, you know, it's like, it's greatness again on Say with the help of my indicators here. I had an alarm set at the 0.14. Well, that was the ultimate entry. Then you have another resistance, by the way, or support, whatever. This area, this level is here from September last year. from September, right? So extremely important level on a high time frame daily, right? Okay, so price taps into it once from an ultimate level over here. You guys follow? Retraces almost back to the level, but not really, because it wants to create a higher low. Perfect. Breaks through it, gives you the perfect entry down here. Does that make sense? Let's draw it again. Let's draw it again. High time frame support down here, taps into it, rejects. First sign, that was in April. That was the first time ETH BTC, for which I also have the level from, not from April, from months before April, because this level over here is created in 2023 with my indicators. Now tell me these are lagging indicators. They're not. So, you know, you can watch whatever lagging indicators you want, but my indicators are showing you price right now. Okay, cool. So you get the first tap, right? Let's go back to this drawing. Rejects from it, shows a bit of weakness, makes a higher low, right? Then breaks through another daily support, rejects from 0.236, massive area, okay? Taps into the daily support, that's your entry, right? That's your entry. First resistance right now for SAY, for example, since we're looking at SAY, right? 0.39, 0.3985. Now from here, the best thing you can hope is you break that level, you return back to 34 cents, 0.34, 0.34, whatever. That will be the 0.236. Retest continuation, right? Another thing that could happen in case price is really, really strong, which is what we expect. Take on Sui. Yes, we're gonna look at Sui, mate. No worries at all. Metaflector. I love the names here. Oh, you guys are great. All right, so cool. Resistance, right? Second scenario. Break resistance, retest resistance, continuation. Why? Why is SAY good? Well, SAY is really good because let's go on a weekly here. Let's go on a weekly. SAY is really good because it has just broken the 0.236. Now from here, right, I'm not saying that this is going to gain amazing momentum. I cannot guarantee you $1, but it seems that it's highly likely. It seems that it's highly likely, but usually when alts are coming from 0.6, they want to enter the 0.786 area, right? This is what I'm trying to teach you guys, okay? That doesn't mean that it's going to reject at 0.92 specifically. It might rally a little bit further. It all depends on price action. You guys like the video if you haven't, okay? Fountain of Youth, yes. He's been following me for a long time. He knows what we do over here. So yeah, it could go $1, right? But 0.92 is like where price usually wants to go. Now let's pull here some extension to see how much is that. Well, it's 154%, and I'm not surprised, to be honest, because most of the alts want something like that, like 150. Like, it's very, very rare that you're gonna see an alt that wants to do like 300% this season. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys type in the chat box, let me know your thoughts. But Sui is still good, right? Sui is still good. It's still fine. There is going to be momentum to enter. So if you're feeling FOMO, now is not the time to feel FOMO, is basically what I'm trying to say. We can look at Sol real quick as well, because you know, we like to look at them, all these things together. Yeah, we can look at APT, no problem. So yeah, for me, Solana is exiting to $300, right? It showed a little bit of weakness. But it respected zones and it didn't really tap into the 0.236. Right? It didn't really tap. So that for me is like trying to hold the 0.5. So that would mean that price needs to exit to $300, right? And go into price discovery, whatever. Like, we want to see what's gonna happen. Yes, you guys, make sure you like the video, right? And yeah, make sure you follow my main channel as well in the description box if you haven't. So yeah, Solana is rejecting from daily support. Now, this is major level for Solana to break. So I do understand the rejection, right? I do understand the rejection. right? On a daily time frame. This is a level that was created in August 2024, right? Levels, important. So I do understand the level that it needs to break right now. So you guys, from here, you really want to be looking at $162. Like, if you're mega giga conservative, you wait for the $162 to break on a retest. You know, if you're very lucky, you might get 155, because that's going to be a retest of the 0.5 area, right? And then re-entry. And if we are even more lucky, we're gonna drop down and clear these, you know, relatively equal lows, tap into a fair value gap over here. It would be just brilliant if that happens, right? Let's have a look. Open the indicators and see. Well, you know, this is what the indicators are showing you, right? This is what the indicators are showing you. Here we can draw it together if I find my drawing tool. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so pretty much buy zone over here, left on a higher time frame, in combination with a fair value gap over here, right? What does that mean? Well, that means that this is very highly likely, if price retraces, to get you know, to get a bounce from here, from this area, right? And that would still protect the 0.5. So it's gonna be another opportunity. And then knowing that Sol has to exit according to the technicals from $300 above, well, isn't that good? Don't forget to click the like. XRP, what's my take on XRP? Okay, cool. You know, XRP is kind of interesting because I'll tell you why. First of all, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Okay, my indicators are showing that it wants to exhaust a little bit. No fair value gaps created in the move down. Let's have a look on a 1-hour time frame. On a 1-hour time frame, what are we looking at here? Open the... Okay, so this is kind of interesting, right? Because today you pretty much you could have shorted, right? You could have longed down here. So you have two scenarios. So the price is really ranging right now on XRP. And if we look on a higher time frame, this is important. We need to look on the higher time frame XRP. In general, XRP is like one of the strongest right now. This is pretty much what I can tell you. Why is it one of the strongest? Because it is very rare that you're gonna see an altcoin like this, right? That is going to keep the 0.5 of the current range, because that is just screaming $3.4. $3.4. That is what this is screaming, right? Currently this is a range, right? We're not blind. This is a range right now. Price is strong, okay, on XRP. So it's beating levels, right? Here we have one level on a daily time frame from February that we smashed through. So first, if I zoom in here, you can see, you guys, first there was a small rejection over here of that level. Then a doji candle. What does a doji candle represent, you guys? You know that a doji candle is a range on a lower time frame, right? So a bit of indecision, and that was pretty much your ticket to enter on if you were over here. Why? Because you were at a major level, 0.236. If you didn't have the guts to enter here, which is absolutely understandable, right? You can see the rejection from the resistance here, right? And on the lower time frame, you see this lower doji candle. That's a range on a lower time frame. So when you see that at major level like this, that means up. That's what it means, right? And now you pretty much have a retest of that level and a continuation, sort of, in a way. All right. Of course, a massive imbalance left right now. Well, it's still pretty much printing because the weekly needs to close, right? But if we're very lucky, price is going to eventually exhaust, maybe over here somewhere, right? Because lots of rejections over here. And if we draw a range on a lower time frame for this, it's probably going to show you that. So over here, if we get an exhaustion, you'll probably get a move back to fulfill some of those imbalances over here, maybe 50% of the imbalance, something like that, whatever you guys trade, for continuation higher on XRP. Tau, XLM, we can look at XLM. In fact, I think I looked at it today earlier. Pretty sure I did. Again, with the help of my indicators, you guys, like I said, you can find them in the description box. I can see very clearly that where price is heading, right? This is where price wants to go. And price wants to go to 0.636 approx. Okay, that's on a weekly, so a very high time frame. Liquidity over here, so you know, it's looking fine. But that's it, right? Because there wasn't more on this chart. Yeah. So again, same thing. You need to be patient, right? You need to be patient. Wait for the fair value gap to form here with this current candle, and try to find an entry on a lower time frame within the imbalance. Like fill the imbalance a little bit, and then enter. That is going to be H bar. You guys, why do you always ask for H bar? I am absolutely mad at H bar right now. Absolutely mad at H bar, for the specific reason that I had my entry down here on H bar. Look at it. This is my entry on H bar at 0.1530, and price tapped at 126, right? 1530, 126. So I didn't get my entry over here, for which I was very upset. But usually, like, you know, usually I need to I put my entry slightly lower or higher depending on you know, where I am, because this zone is very major, and sometimes, you know, maybe I didn't put the range with 1 point to the high or to the low. Do you know what I mean? It's just this kind of things that's you know, that's really annoying. But anyway, here is basically what you're looking at. Sorry for all the drawings. This is from something I was looking before. But anyways, this is your liquidity up here. All right, 0.4 on H bar. That's where it wants to go on a weekly time frame, which is very good. I won't forget Tau, don't worry about it. You know, breaking the 0.5, it looks good to me. So again, the 0.5, it's supposed to hold, right? We came from the 0.236. I don't see price coming back anymore to 0.12. Newsflash, because it has no work there besides these two relatively equal lows, and that's only going to happen in a scenario if price just really like starts failing. You know what I mean? Why is my timer not working? Oh yeah, okay, we're 28 minutes in, that's fine. So basically, yeah, you want the 0.5 to hold, you want this weekly candle to close over here. And again, we're seeing the same thing, just like with all the alts. It would be absolutely amazing if we get some retrace into that. You know, it could happen in a week, it could happen in 2 weeks, it could happen in, like, you know, 1 month. But you know, patience is the answer here, right? Patience is the answer. Okay, let's look at Tau real quick. For Manon, we're gonna look at Tau real quick. Tau daily, all right, weekly, whatever. Let's start. Sorry, I'm a bit OCD. Okay. Yeah, I have to delete like everything that's annoying me. You're welcome. So okay, you guys, again, Tau, current range, you know, nice range to look at. Very beautiful price action, you know, simple price action, retrace from the 0.236, perfect entry down here, tapping into an imbalance over here. Balanced price action. Do I need to draw it for you guys over here? Here is the balanced price action. This is the balanced price action I was referring to also on Ethereum, right? Ethereum has a very similar balanced price action. In a way, you can call this a V-shaped recovery, right? As well, in a way. Not really, but still too much volume here on the drop down on a weekly anyway. Yeah, so here's your balanced price action. Price breaks price breaks, okay, let's draw it together. We'll draw it together for you guys so it's easy. All right, cool. So yeah, we have the range. Price drops extremely deep. All right, anyways, you wait for a break of the 0.236. You wait patiently. You know that the 0.5 is an important area. It's very scary when the 0.5 rejects, because then you're looking for lower prices. But with the overall market sentiment, knowing that you're coming in June and July, you know that 0.236 is supposed to hold. You come back down, you test the 0.236, you come back into the balanced price action, you take a nice little dip, and you're gone. So that's pretty much Tao. Tao 650. It's looking like, 650. It wouldn't mind 650. Then from here on, it needs to do, it could even do 700, right? I don't know what's it gonna do in between 0.786 and 1, but I'm a conservative trader, so this is what I do, right? I tend to reduce significantly size around the 0.786. APT, yes, I forgot, sorry. APT, cannot remember everything at all times. Oh my, wowza. This is just, I mean, what a mess. You know what I mean? Like, at extreme levels right now. It's just not pretty at all. Like, at extreme levels. The only good thing about APT right now, is that it's rejecting from a major support, high time frame support, rejecting from it really nicely. All right, so this was pretty much your ultimate down here, but price is so not far off of like retesting, or at least a little bit retesting, to which you can hope for price to start getting some momentum. But for now, this is not good yet. All right, this is not good. The thing about me is, like, we've not seen Sui. She talked about Seiyu. Okay, we'll look at Sui, no problem. So the thing is, fundamentals is odd as APT is odd at fundamentals are good. Yes, I've heard that as well, Z Trader. I've heard that as well. So maybe it's a sleeping giant, right? But do you really want to be part of something that is not strong, right? When everything starts pulling back a little bit, what is APT going to do essentially? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. But the good thing is that you know that you're at major levels, and this level has been holding for a long time. So if you get 4.3 again, happy days, happy days. Then I might dip my toes in, right? Even over here within that fair value gap over here. Let's open the indicators real quick, right? 12-hour over here. Let's go on a daily because it's so busy. It's so busy. Too much happening, but the daily is holding. That's bullish, right? So if it starts dipping, let's say, then I'm gonna be looking at around 4.5, yeah, 4.58, 4.510 for APT. Something like that actually would be not so bad, to be fair. Julian Song, I like your content. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm trying to give you guys this chart sucks. I agree, mate. I agree. I agree with you. That's why I'm saying you never know. This could be a sleeping giant. Z Trader is saying that fundamentals are good. I'm not a fundamental person. I can just see the chart and I can tell the chart is not good. APT, APATA, exactly. Pa 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 pa. Oh man, that's hilarious. Okay, cool. I forgot what I promised to look at now. All right, so we looked at APT, blah 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 blah. Did I miss Sui? You guys, you tell me, did I miss Sui? Because I don't remember. Did we do Sui? Sui. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, it's bullish, right? It's looking fine to me. Let's assess a little bit more here. Let's just go and you know, like this is lower time for sorry, not lower time frame, still high time frame range, but like yeah, for me Sui was like the 12-hour support was the first level over here to look at. So that was $2.8. I wanted to see a break of that. You had the retest, so that was pretty much it over here. But anyway, we're not FOMO in anything. Like we can draw the range on a higher time frame as well. Like we're not stressing out at all. But I think for here we have to go on a daily and see what sort of so this is really good. I'll tell you why. Because first of all, we're breaking major levels, so that range is soon going to be exited to the $4.3. So we need to start considering the bigger range, which we can do. But the good thing is that you're breaking this specific resistance over here. You see this one. Because in a true downtrend, you usually hold this one and you continue. So, you know, but this is just a price leg, right? It's not like a trend, but like lower time frame, whatever. So yeah, it's good that we broke it. So again, just like with most alts, I'll be looking at 0.786, you know, maybe price comes up, maybe rejects, because this over here could sometimes it's significant. No, that's another language. Sorry, too many languages. It shows that you know, it could be an area for rejection, right? So for that, again, look at it. You're printing a nice fat imbalance over here. Fat imbalance on a, you know, on a daily time frame as well as weekly time frame. I'm pretty sure. No, weekly not yet, but daily, you know. So it would be very, very nice if we get a tap back into that zone of breakage, right? This one. So that's around $3.6. Maybe we're not even gonna get that deep, but this is the area, right? Around 3.7, 3.6 that you want to be looking at in case of a pullback. But otherwise, long term, it's looking fine. All right. All right, last one, you guys. We're doing Chainlink, okay? We're doing Chainlink. That's last one. Where's Link? Link on a weekly. Link on a weekly. Link on a weekly. Hold on one second. Hold on. 12 hourly. I'm pretty... What is this? What chart am I looking at right now? What chart am I looking at right now? Chainlink. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we have to go on a weekly here. We'll go on a weekly. All right, cool. So Chainlink again. Lovely. You know, super lovely. Why? Well, because you can see that it's respecting my indicators. Again, you guys, these indicators, you can find them in the description box. All the exchanges with super cool offers, Telegram group, my YouTube channel, everything is down in the description box. So yeah, anyway, you had that liquidity over here, right? Liquidity that was formulated in around May last year, 2024, right? So then you come up here from last year, you take that liquidity, 0.5 rejects, shows major weakness. So now your only hope is for Chainlink to hold $12.45. So that has been the ultimate for Chainlink for quite some time, you guys. For quite some time, that was pretty much it, right? Let me get rid of this. So this was the entry over here, and this as well. Go away, please. Yeah, so you know, 0.236, same thing. It's broken. It's broken. Higher lows, broken over here. Nicely bullish, right? Nicely bullish. We have a lower high here. Are we gonna get a higher high? Potentially, right? Because market is strong. Anyways, on a weekly time frame, this is weekly, you guys, you have a massive imbalance that's printing right now. You want that imbalance to formulate. So do not FOMO in. It's what I can tell you. do not FOMO in, because there's going to be massive imbalances that are left behind for price to tap back in and to start running. And again, what I tell you is when price starts rejecting from the 0.236, you're looking now at $40 at the very least. $40 at the very least. That's 167%. So if you catch an entry, it's not bad at all. It's not bad, right? And if the worst thing happens, which is also possible, and I tell you guys, if that happens, ultimate opportunities is what I think. But anyway, we're gonna cut it short because you guys, I've been with you for quite some time now. Hopefully that was helpful. Oops, let's go back to full screen. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys, and make sure you like the video. Are these leverage entries or spot buying? So I'm giving you the overview, the weekly overview, right? So I'm giving you the zones. So when you have a zone, what you can do after that is go ahead on a lower time frame and refine an entry within that zone. Does that make sense? So that's how you can go on leverage in these positions. I'm not showing you spot buying whatsoever. Does that make sense? Yay. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here one more time, and I'll see you on Thursday when we have the next live stream together. Make sure you like, make sure you check the description box for all the relevant links. Yes, like the button. Hit the like button, whatever. Oh, I'm tired. You're welcome. You're welcome, you guys. All right, I'll see you next time. See you next time.